Roland, oh God.
There, man. Welcome. Okay, I see you bring Physicality.
Yeah.
I saw, you know what's interesting? I saw from that video earlier this week.
Yes.
He said at no point in time would he see himself sitting down with Justin Gatlin.
Right.
And I remember when the rivalry started out with me and Bebo, I said the same thing. At no point in time would you see me and Bebo in the same era sitting down having a conversation. And what's happening today?
Man, they're right just out.
I'm looking face to face with Bebo. But what can I say? Bebo brought a game changer. To not only to the game, but myself. And I'm going to speak about myself, where I was at before I met Bebo until now.
Right.
And so much have changed. Now, before Bebo, there was the Kenty Jamwest Drag Rival series. And at that time, there was not much rivals going on. It was just challenging to be competitive in our class.
Right.
Basically, it was staying relevant in our class.
True.
Yeah, we had name calling. We had Lizard. Lizard was calling my name. You know the shit this way they built that time, right?
I really don't have a great rival now because really and truly they are not really in my class. You know, so I have a what you would call a little list. You know? A shit list, if you want to put it that way. Yeah. Now, on the bottom of that list, I had Roland on the bottom of that list, but I am going to move him up to the top.
Listen. That there, when you missing too much part down here. Eh? Listen.
So therefore, the shit was there at that time. We had that, but the battle was, there was no true rivalry. There was no true push to better off your, to actually see a competitor out here. So obviously, Bebo brought that out in the competitiveness because I was relaxed before Bebo come in November. I saw myself come relaxing in 10 seconds. It was just me and Johns. I remember one of the time when me and Johns going down to finals after eliminating everybody else. There was no real competition at that time. So when Bebo come down, Bebo brought in a different level to this thing, this competitiveness, this thing where you have to push yourself. It's not just being complacent in a class and running that class and running that class. No. It's about, yo, I'm pushing you to go further. And if not, I'm gonna beat you so that the world can see me I beat you. So, I didn't want the world to see me, right?
Yeah.
So, fast forward now into last year, which was what, 2022?
Right.
You know, people came in and people said, yo, guess what happened, guys? I'm here to wrestle any guy in Jamaica. Even 45 basically said, hey, 45 said, yo, any front wheel drive in Jamaica want to step up to the game. People said, the dog said, yo, Roland, I'm coming for you. You're the target. And that's what I felt like every time I saw people. I saw him at Jamwest before even Vernon Field. I saw him at Jamwest and I felt like this target was constantly on my back. From people, and you can play that video also where he said, Roland, you have my money and this and you understand? And I felt like, yo, this guy has a target on my back. So I felt bullied.
Yeah.
I felt bullied, you're not gonna lie. I can tell you, it felt like I was going back into high school when somebody is actually bullying you in high school, you know?
What going between you and Roland?
Roland, every time we race Roland, it comes like it's a light situation. Like, he might pay the money in the booth for just turn on the lighter, set off the lighter, whatever the case is. But we got a little race going where I dragged out this whole entire navel button and we buried it in the back under the gungo tree back there, so. We get it done. From them time, them have to call Roland and wife, because Roland now sleep, him now eat. You see him in one video, he might get skinny and them something there. Some of us call him and say, Roland, it's okay. Eat a little food and them something there. We're good.
So him get depressed over beating?
He get depressed over the race, like, and start taking it to our next level, about, yo, you Americans and this and that. It's not that, it's just racing, Roland, that's it. You beat me bad, I beat you bad.
So, obviously going back now into Drag Rival Series for 2022, said, you know what? I gotta do my best. And that's all I can do. I looked at my team and I said to them, you know what, this guy is pushing me. So guess what, we're gonna have to come out of our comfort zone and we gotta step up to the game. So wherever Bebo was running, Bebo went 9th before us. When Bebo was running what, 9.7, we were at 9.9 when he qualified. And then when we qualified at 9.9 and Bebo was going 9.6, we're like, yo, how do we even compete? Because we don't know what it takes to run 9s yet. We just coming out of 10.0 that we're running for the last 2 years. And we tried everything to run 9s and couldn't get it to run, but we got a 9.9. Alright, no problem. Well, Bebo and I, we're in the same class now. So we went from, we made a little bit more tweak. We went from a 9.9 to a 9.7. He made some more tweak, he went to a 9.2, 9.4, and then he went to a 9.2, whichever one. So we constantly pushed ourselves to get faster and faster and faster. And then you realize that persons who were part of the competition, they basically got faded away, leaving me and Bebo to really battle ourselves all the way down to the finals. Can you believe that?
True.
It's interesting, eh?
True.
That, remember that there was competition back then, you know?
Yes.
And it basically faded themselves because it's either you can hang with us or you can't hang with us at the end of the day. And what this competition does, it pushes you to go further. It pushes you to use your mind, to be creative with your car, to change your driving style. Everything about it is to get faster. So B1I competition will never end. It will never end, not today, not another 10 years from now. I can see myself competing with Bebo. And not only Bebo, but there are others out there. There's Double Truck out there also. There's Postmill. There's other worthwhile competition who is coming forward, who is going to definitely. There's competition coming. There's worthwhile competition, and fair competition at the end of the day. So, people and I are not in safe zone.
Yeah.
I never see that at the end of the day. Even when we were both in 8-second class now, we're not in safe zone. We saw what Island Boys came in and did. So we want to reach that level just the same. But in order for us to reach that level, we're not going to just jump ship and stop work with the team that we're working with. We have to come, if we grow as a team. And that is what I tell everyone that I'm working with. We grow together as a team.
Right.
So therefore, how I see it is, yes, you need help to grow. I have no problem calling for help. But guess what? You're teaching my team. You're showing my team and empowering my team so that we can run 7s.
Right.
We ain't gonna just drive my car and run 7s.
Right.
No.
Right.
We're running, my team is there with me from 16 seconds.
Right.
And we're now at 8 seconds right now.
Right.
So in order for me to go to 7s, I'm not just gonna abort my team that I've been building and working with from 16 to say, hey, guess what? Rosado can make you go to 7s. Why not bring Rosado to Jamaica to make you run 7s? No, if I'm bringing Rosado in, it's my team that is going to be working with Rosado.
Right.
And after we get Rosado to show us how to run the 7s, guess what, Rosado? Thank you.
True.
We're moving over now with my team going forward to understand. So I could never see myself aborting my team at the end of the day. Alright? Bebo, as I said, for Bebo, with the battle of the belt, I went to the first event and trust me, the skin has scratched me. You know when you want to care for race? But in at the peak, I understand and I say, yo, this could have been my event.
Yeah.
I could have been in that event and I could have been so competitive in this event.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I said, you know what, next one, I'll be there. Well, lo and behold, the wife whispered in my ears one night and said, I'm running back like the belt.
That she said?
Yeah. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, they run back like the belt. I said, honey, this is not bracket racing, babe. I said, I know. it's not rapid racing. I said, this is where the real world is. You're in the lion's den right now.
Yeah.
You're competing, not up with the same, working out. This is the real world. All right, this is all guns out. So I said, all right. You're used to 11 seconds. You've been running 11s. So I can see that you're more used to the car in the 11-second class. And the boost is down on the car. So I plan to bring her to Vernon Field to actually up the boost level now. Because remember, I can't bring her in as an 11-second car.
Right.
Not that I can't bring her in, but to be competitive in the class, I have to unleash the car.
Right.
But I can't just bring her on the day of the event and unleash the car.
Right.
I have to prepare the car, put her together in the car so she can understand what it would be like to pull a 1.4 or possibly running the car at 800 horsepower. How would you feel in the car running the 800 horsepower car? So I'm taking her down to Vernon Field to turn up the car and have her experience the car from pulling up. Because the tire pressure, I know what it takes to pull a 1.4. We're running a wrinkle wall slicks. And normally, I would put like a 10 psi, 8 psi on my tire. I have her at 12 psi right now. So the tires are overinflated right now. But if overinflated, I can have her constantly pulling a 1.5. So she's constantly pulling 1.5 right now. She's a rear-wheel drive car. That car is capable of pulling a 1.4 or 1.3 on a good day. So I've got to get her pulling those short track. Alright? And it's also good for her because she was what? The number 1 qualifier at the last Vernon event.
Right.
Yeah, she ran at 11.0.
Yeah.
But what got her out was reaction. So she was always watching the light and like, yo, am I reacting too late? I don't want the red light. I'm like, this is nowhere. This is a different environment.
Right.
This ain't no red light right now. This
Right.
is you going. You understand? So I want her to get the experience of this.
Right.
Alright?
Right. You know, you touched on a few things, even though it will come like a backtrack a bit. You touched on a few things I want for highlight. We notice I keep on I use the word team, right? How important you think a team is for drag racing or in racing in general? Because I understand say you might have a one-man army out there where be like a one-man do everything or whatever the case is. But me link Archie down from Ochi, and me hear Archie even emphasize on the same thing, and him said, no man now go be able to do them best until them have a team around them, because the reality of it is, when you get seriously competitive, how much things you want can check on the car at a given time.
And after that you bring up Archie, because Archie is my mentor.
Ah, really?
Yeah, remember when Basha was a baby,
Yeah.
it was me, Spoon, and Delano at Archie shop, learning mechanic work.
Even Roland did make reference to how way back when you go from your son Basha, the palm breast. That's true. That's true.
That time Spoon drive a Corolla.
Spoon and the Toyota man?
Yeah man, Spoon, a Corolla, Spoon Corolla.
Beaver, you hear that?
Taxi.
Yeah.
Taxi man. Run taxi. In there run taxi. Turn to mechanic. Come back Archie shop with a Corolla. I don't know when he bought the first Civic. Until he buy the red Civic from a guy named Ice. Yeah man. Ice wins the race. That Civic. Yeah man. Spoon was original Toyota man. That's why I must remember my heritage. So he is a Toyota man. Alright? Just like me, I was a Honda man. Remember that? I was a Honda man just the same. Just go to the Toyota one. And it's the same thing for Spoon. He was a Toyota man, moved over in the underworld.
Alright.
You are as strong as your team is. I repeat, you are as strong as your team is. And no man is an island. No man stand alone. What happens is that your team, you need a team that is able to rally with you around the car. Because I can tell you, there are days when I feel like I'm never going to make it to race, or that I'm having a bad day at race. And without your team, I've seen where my worst days are always the days when I win. The most challenging days are the days when I win. The days where I feel like everything is like easy, those are the days that I lose. And I've seen that before multiple times in racing is, and my team always pointed out that, remember we go through worse than this. We had to build back our engine in the night. We had to build back our transmission in the night. You stay back at Vernon Field. The last Vernon Field, I was towing back the Skyline back to here at 1 o'clock in the morning to bring it back to the track just to do a grudge race with me and my wife. I could have packed up and say, you know what, Skyline giving me problem, just no matter with it. But I made sure that I brought back the car here to test the car, make sure everything is working, and to bring it back to the track. And after bringing it back to the track, I still had problems just the same, right? So it was just never my event. But your team, you need a team. And at the end of the day, you need motivation from your team at the end of the day.
Right.
You can't have a team where you're saying, oh, you go up against Bebo, you can't beat Bebo, remember some Bebo faster than you are. No, you need your team to constantly keep you motivated.
Right.
As drivers, we need people who keep us motivated and push us to let us know that we can do it.
Right.
We can beat that competition.
Right. The island boys them come, right? And them forward and them run 3-7, make multiple 7-second passes. Them run them do it like some would say almost like they make it look unbelievable. Right? What you think? Is it a case where you might have say, alright, them are do something different from maybe where some of the other cars them will have the potential for do, or what you think is there to be? Yeah. Right.
I'm a hobby racer.
Right.
And when I refer to as a hobby racer, I mean a race when the promoter keep us shape.
Yeah.
Island boys are professional racers.
Right.
These guys race every weekend. And not only that they're racing every weekend, they're racing different genres of cars. They're racing front-wheel drive, they're racing four-wheel drive, they're racing rear-wheel drive. You saw them in the Mustang also, right?
Right.
So therefore, these are professional jockeys. Now when you have somebody like myself who is a seasonal hobby racer, it's hard for me to compete with them on that mental level.
Right.
Mean that my car can do it. I know my car can run 7s. But mentally, the combination of my mental knowledge to get to run 7s is not there like what these guys are. These guys are hitting the track every weekend.
Them have years of experience.
Weekend. They have years of experience. Now, not only that the driver is also in tune with the car. You listen to that guy, Chef?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
The driving style of
Yes,
that
man.
guy versus all of us in Jamaica
Right.
is totally different. Because he's a professional jockey. Alright? He's a professional jockey.
My one with the car.
He's one with the car. And if you look at the team behind it,
Yeah.
you'll see that they can destroy or break apart, and it come like nothing for these guys to rally back and build back same time to make the next round. You know why that? Because these are professionals here. And it just goes to show that whenever you bring professionals to a sport that is mainly hobby racers, then obviously the professionals are going to shine.
Right.
Because remember, you know, if you're riding bicycle, and I have the fastest bicycle, your carbon bicycle, everything. If this guy is riding bicycle every weekend, can you race that guy on a bicycle?
Can't race him. I'm fit on you.
In fit, in mentally ready, in quicker, everything.
Him have the overall advantage.
The shift points, everything them used to.
Right.
Alright, so there's nothing that we can do to stop that ass whooping that.
Me hear right people say, right then over there, but I want no 8s and 7s, so I'm gonna get to. Me hear people say, I change up some things.
But what happened is that the track that we all were complaining about, these guys came and they did it. So I can't complain no more. I cannot complain anymore. I can't say this track, can't say settings or this. it's like an uphill task. No, my team and I are the uphill task.
Right, so the track, the track talk now officially get dismissed.
No, I can't use truck again. I don't want to use, I grew up hearing about the truck. I went into the sport hearing about the truck. And these guys come on the show me like, yo, bum, bum, bum.
Because if memory serve correct, 2 car alone ever run 7s.
Yeah, man,
the Rail and the Bad Breed. Bad Breed run it one time.
One time. And I've seen many come here and
we see Rosada them come here, we see the
fight it. I've seen many.
we see Pro Mad car come here, come do try it.
Exactly. So guess what I realized now? I cannot blame the truck anymore. I'm blaming myself and my team.
Yeah.
And I'm not even blaming the machinery.
Right.
I'm blaming our knowledge that we have.
Right.
You understand? So I wish we had where we could get more races because and I can't even blame the temperature and say them are race at night and we can't use nothing like that again. Because these guys coming in 12 o'clock sun and do this.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So, truth be told, I would love for us to say, yo, be more serious and get the work done. You understand?
Yeah.
Get the work. Let's get the work done.
Yeah.
7 is not going to come easy. It's
Yeah.
not. I can tell you that I'm at 8.6 at 168 miles an hour now.
Right.
And I can tell you, when I sit in that car going running the constant 8-second pass, it's like me I beg for the finish line to come. I found where running 10s was more scary for me than running 8s.
Really?
Yes, it was. When I was running 10s, I felt like, yo, me have a feather, lift foot, car go sideways, smell of tire.
The car no feel relaxed. It more the car did more.
It's more relaxed. But what is happening is I feel this pressure on my body.
Mm.
And you're actually begging for the finish line to come to say, yo, give me a sign of relief. That's what the 8-second pass feels like. I went for a checkup recently. And I said to the doc, Doc, you know on when we put a good 60 foot like a 1-3, he said, oh Roland. I say, I see like a black dot in my eye. So every time I pull a good 60, I have this like a black dot in my eye. I don't know if that to other people. When I pull a good 60, like a 1-3 or low 1-3, I feel since a black dot for a couple of milliseconds. He say, that is, you know what that is, Roland?
Like a
That's
G-force?
your brain moving in your skull. Yeah. That is why they say when people pull 1-0,
That's how the
1-9,
G-force.
when people pull 1-0 and 1-9, they actually black out for a couple of milliseconds. Because mentally I know I'm going straight.
Mm.
Even with this, and it's interesting that even after seeing that black dot and that feeling, it's when I finish my race, I want to do it again. I actually want to do it again. So even coming back into the pit after pulling an 8-second pass and come back in, I don't want to go back in the pit.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I want to run it. When I see that it's an 8-second pass, I want to run it again because it's one of the best feelings.
Yeah.
But you see, during that feeling, you actually feel a pressure on your body in the seat that you're like, yo, ease up off of me, like something sitting on you in the car, like the pressure just pushing you back in the seat and your chest tight up. So because of that now, I get some safety device. I got the Hans device, readjusted my helmet to support the Hans device because I realized that safety is becoming a #1 factor right now.
Right.
Because your head, you have to support your head.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that you have the restraining harness supporting your body already.
Right.
You understand? But the Hans device, we need it to support our neck and our
Right.
head. Alright?
Right.
So I recently got that. And I would tell any racer at the end of the day, invest in a Hans device. Because you can see what with Puffy.
Yeah.
Puffy went through the Macabush.
Yeah.
And he had a problem with turning neck. If you had a Hans device, that's whiplash
Yeah.
experience.
They prevent that.
It would prevent that. on his neck. So,
Yeah.
and remember, we're doing this thing for fun. We're not doing it for money.
True.
You understand? We ain't getting no retirement benefit out of this.
True.
We're just enjoying ourselves for the moment.
True.
All right?
Right.
So, I'm happy with Bebo on the safety part. I said Bebo last event, he was heavily on safety. And we saw what happened with one stock recently. Also.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Gotta get that shit.
You saw
During
that,
that pass there, yeah.
Exactly. It ain't easy. So
Yo.
safety is the #1 priority right now. We're getting faster.
Yeah.
170 miles an hour ain't easy. You understand? And it takes only a split of a check your slicks. Even me, I recently started realizing that your slicks can look good, but your slicks have an expiration time. So link people for some fresh slicks because I think Mickey Thompson only aged them for like 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
Right.
So if you see that you're having slicks that is 5, 6, 7 years old, or even runners. My runners I got scared on my runners because my runners have been on my car since Jamwest. Early Jamwest, I've been running those front runners, and these front runners have been going 8 years on front runners and you have dropped. Most people don't even change them runners on the car. We do not change our runners on the car. And you're pushing 170 miles an hour.
And those
On
runners.
some runners, and people, I talk to some people, they're like, well, I never change my runners then. I changed my slicks, but we never change the runners. So I call Mickey Thompson and say, yo, what's the age on the runners then? They're saying it's the same thing as the slicks.
3 years.
4 years. So, I think we need to look also at the date on our tires. Look at the date on our tires also. It's very important because we all are pushing some serious mile an hour right now. So we need to start. Look at the age of our tires. If the age of our tires are getting up, call people and say, Bebo, we need some new fresher rubbers, better time.
Right.
Always remember that, guys. It's not that just you want to change the tires, but newer rubbers always equal better time or better 64.
Right.
Because you always want a newer rubber.
Right.
Alright? So yeah, fresher rubbers equal faster time. You have to check the age on your tires, guys. Yes, your runner can be there, and you'll be like, yo, my runner is not being worn. Whether it burn up on my runner or none of the above. But remember that whatever speed you're traveling, the runners are traveling at that speed just
Right.
So it's very important that you pay attention to your four-wheel drive guys. They pay attention to all 4 slicks. But us 2-wheel drive with a front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, we tend to ignore the runners, but start to pay attention to this. Alright?
Me notice you move from 10s to 8 within the span of a year.
Yeah.
Within a single year of race meet. Right? How difficult was it? And me hear you talk about 7s, and as I said, 7s not easy. I realize I make some changes to the car most recently, being you run down the Nexus R5.
Yeah.
Before that you had the Haltech Elite. Right? What the next step? Because I know that the 8.6 for transition and go lower.
It's hard.
It's hard now. It's almost like you hit the wall now where
the potential of the car was an 8-second car, but I didn't know that when I was in 10s. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I met Bebo. That the potential of the car was I didn't know the potential of it. I thought that the car was comfortable at 10 seconds. But my team always tell me that there's a lot more left in the car.
Yeah.
And but I didn't know as a driver how much more was left in it.
Right.
Alright. So when I saw that the car went over the nines, I said, well, hold on. It is true. There's more left in this car. So I saw that within a period from that was January.
Right.
That was January
Right.
morning the beat people down.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Back to school. Back to school.
Back to school.
January morning. Mm-hmm. Eh? Mm-hmm. Isn't that so, people? Early in the morning, right?
Early in the morning.
January morning. Yeah, man, January. And then after that, my progression was great. We went starting to get faster and faster and faster. And we realized that we went into the eights. And we knew what it took to run the eights because we were repeating it.
Right.
Repeat from an 8-9 to an 8-8 to an 8-7 to an 8-6. The same thing like what we're doing in the nines.
Right.
We're repeating it.
Right.
So we realized that we found the true potential of the car.
Right.
Which was an 8-second pass. Now, the rate of improvement was good because we didn't have to change anything in the car.
Right.
It was just to find what the car needed or what I needed to drive the car. Because it's what I did. I spoke to Puffy, I spoke to David, I spoke to my team, Randy, everybody. And I said, what are we going to do now? We're already eights.
Right.
We're not having an electrical problem. So we said, you know what are we going to work at? Are we going to wire back with the same computer? No, we're going to wire with something more advanced. So we went over with the Nexus. But we realized that with any new electronic system or electronic computer, it comes teething pain because of different system at the end of the day. So we're going through our teething pain right now with that system, and I expect that the teething pain should be finished for July event.
All right.
Because we're making some change. Everything, all the sensors that were working. I never had transfer brake problem. I started with transfer brake problem. I never had nitrous problem. So all the electronics that are there is just starting to give us problems.
Okay.
And the computer is fishing out these errors for us.
Ah.
Why? Because remember that there's no fuse and there's no relay. Everything is being powered by the Nexus.
Right.
So what happened, I realized that if the transfer brake solenoid is going bad, I'll show you what happened.
Yeah.
In going fast, we need spare parts.
Right.
It's a hell of a thing when we don't have spare parts. And I'll tell you what happened to me in the last event. My transfer brake solenoid was going bad. But I never had a problem with it, with the previous ECU, because I had an 80 amp relay working it. So therefore that 80 amp relay would be enough to drive the current to lock my transfer brake. And this is what locks first gear and reverse. So it doesn't move. Without this, I can't race. In an automatic car, it would be like your the brake would be with a hole in staging brake.
In stage brake.
Yeah, so this is my stage brake. That failed. But remember, I never had a problem with it. But it's been failing, and the new Altec detect that it's failing because it's what's powering it up. So let's say you set it to draw 15 amp. The Altec would see that it's drawing 25 amp and turn off the current on the line. And that now start to affect my race. You understand where I'm coming from? So I realized that this is why you have to build your spare parts collection. You understand where I'm coming from now? So I never really heavily rely on spare parts before, but now I realize that in going faster, you have to have spare parts. So you know, when we start out, we get a spare diff, we get spare axle, we get spare nitrous solenoid, I get spare transbrake solenoid, spare injectors, because shit is going to break. We're out of the comfort zone right now. The road to 7 seconds is not an easy challenge. You understand? Things are going to break. So we weren't breaking stuff back in 2022. But for 2023 and beyond, I expect that we're going to break stuff. I'll show you an next example. Even at the truck, I bought bearings just to make sure that anytime, because you're spinning the motor, going sevens now mean the power has to be turned on.
Right.
We ain't on no 600 horsepower no more.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat. Yo, it
I'm going 600 horsepower. We have to turn this shit up.
Yeah.
So to turn it up means that we need spare parts. So we have to be, if I should see that, and you have to catch it early. That's the difference. There's a difference between breaking stuff and catching stuff early. Break is when you destroy your bearings and your bearings send your connecting rod through the side of your block.
Right.
That is breaking. Failure. Right. Catching stuff early is when you see that your oil pressure dropped in the middle of the race.
That is called preventative maintenance.
That's right. Preventative maintenance.
Or we suddenly have a misfire, and the computer can tell us which cylinder misfired, and we need a coil. So we have extra coil. So I start realizing that the game to this sport is to take it professional. And the only way for us to take it professional is to step back a little bit. Now, having these spare parts is like you're building back an engine over again. And I'll show you something interesting. That is interesting. One more. I saw people with a turbo on dyno. I said, I want one.
Backside. What is
So I got this. This turbo is for the white, but it can be used for the Skyline Plus C. This is one of the, this is a 7985. So people, as I said, spare parts. I don't have a turbo problem. I don't. But if we're really going to successfully pull off what Island Boys pulled off,
You have to step it up.
we have to step up our game as a motor racing team.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. Is that right, people?
Correct.
We have to.
Say I step it up to you.
We all have to step it up.
we have to step
Everybody.
up. Everybody. It's not where you can say, okay, fine, this happened and we're out for the day. Something really happened and you're out for the day, you're out for the day. But we're.
So let me ask you a question. You think Roland will let me drive this car? After it's only right to ask.
Oh, God. People. I haven't seen people in a railroad driving a long while.
Yes.
All right.
Since the MR2.
Yeah, since the MR2, and that never really turned out that very well, right?
No. And people say, if the boss asks for the drive, am I give my drive? Me, hey boss, can I drive your car?
So one day when I see him back in a railroad driving, I will make that decision, right? Decision I can tell.
Right now the wife bother on him.
Because a railroad drive car ain't an easy task.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know it ain't an easy task. So, as I said, lifestyle, we have to take this game serious.
Yeah.
We have to. It is something where it gone in such a way. Let's go 1 minute. I'll show you again. We have to take it serious. We're building another engine.
Shoot.
But truth be told, we have to carry spares, guys.
That's it.
We have to. And I was looking at Island Boys racing, and I saw where them lift them in and then changes and then changes and then changes and then changes. These guys were hitting everything on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
On the spot. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
No, man. We have to take this thing professional.
Right.
We have to take it professional. And in order for us to compete at that level, we have to first understand what they did. That's the first thing.
Right.
Understanding what they did. Once we understand what they did, we have to appreciate and respect what they did. Okay? And we have to be able to replicate
What they did.
what they did
Yeah.
in order for us to successfully pull off a 7-second pass.
Yeah.
You understand? It's not just to say, oh, we can run 7s, we can do it too. No. These are professionals, guys. And when you're a professional, come on your track and show you up like that, you have to take a sit back and just understand it and say, yo, you know what? We never do it too. But in order for us to do it, we're going to break stuff.
Yeah.
We have to compete at a professional level. If we're going to take it serious, to run our best, and to compete with the world's best, or the Caribbean's best, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
If we're really going to take this serious, let's say Jamaica will be the #1 for the Caribbean, we got to change our mindset.
How much potential you think we have our... How much cars you see the potential if you can make such a pass or if you be able to achieve such a goal? Like
We have sufficient cars. I can safely say that we have over 10 cars
right.
in Jamaica right now that
Right.
are capable of pulling 7-second laps.
Right.
Over 10. And there's many that is still in development. You understand? But we have over 10 cars right now that if we really sit down, and that's why I want this Caribbean series to really, because when you have a Caribbean series, it basically put a family closer together. You know? You understand where I'm coming from? I repeat, no man's an island. But what happens is that each team, one team, have knowledge, and when we share knowledge, this is how we get faster.
True.
You understand where I'm coming from? So, I could see us putting together a team that can leave Jamaica to compete in any Caribbean country.
Right.
Any Caribbean country. And we're talking about front-wheel drive car, all-wheel drive car, rear-wheel drive car. So you could actually send one of each type from Jamaica to compete at a professional level.
Nice.
All right?
Right.
And I'm saying that these cars are built by Jamaican, owned by Jamaican, and is from Jamaica.
Right.
You understand? This is nothing where we go. Because for me, I would say if I was supposed to, Island Boys, I'm not taking anything from them. They develop, they deliver. But at the end of the day, it's a US-based car that came from the US to Antigua, to Jamaica, that was already delivering 7s in the US.
So in other words, the car come do what it's supposed to do.
So when I look at 45 car was born in Antigua, isn't that correct?
Which one?
The new one, the red one, in built it in Antigua, yeah.
It was that car born.
It built in the US, but and then him come on, it cargo Antigua, and then him change it from front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive in Antigua. Right, so it was built in the US.
Exactly.
Right.
Elta Skelter is also one of
Antiguan.
the Antiguan car, right? So
Right.
you can see where nothing is wrong with your car, because I would love to ship my car to the US.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to ship my car to the US just to redo not the engine and transmission, but the structure.
The chassis.
The chassis of my car.
You don't think that's something that can be done in Jamaica?
Good. I would love, this is where, that's why I said everybody has to improve, right? You see how I'm improving on my parts collection, right? We need someone who is dedicated to
Specifically doing that.
jig setup and chassis engineering. And let me repeat that. It's one thing where the engine is just a pump. You put air in, air out. Transmission is just a multiplier. or a gearbox is just a multiplier. Just need to turn wheels. Suspension and chassis have a whole lot to do. And I can see where in Jamaica, that's one of the area that we're lacking in. Because if someone was at the Vernon field every weekend that could say, you know what, you pay me today for advice, how to get your car to go straight one, pull a better 60 foot because he has the knowledge and he's looking at my suspension and he's giving me advice and I'm paying him for that advice.
You know, honestly, I feel like there are people here. I'm not going to lie to you. There are people here. But it's just a simple fact that I always talk to, you know, different races and all that stuff like that. And Jamaica, you guys are in a time where we were back then. Right now, everybody's not kumbaya and everybody can't go here and can't go there. If you guys were at a time where you were united and everybody can go here, there'll be somebody here to tell you, Roland, listen, I think you need to soften up the rear and lighten up the front. Roland, you need to run less tire pressure here. But there are people there that are looking at your car and they know the problems of your car.
Exactly.
And it's just
But they're not say it.
They're not going to say it. No, they're not going to say it. Because, you know, to be honest, why I want to see Roland go faster? Why? You know what I mean? Honestly.
So when you go to international races, you'll find that one car is supported by multiple individuals.
True.
So you'll find that Rosado is doing the suspension on that car. Jamie is behind the keyboard. Somebody else is behind the engine. Somebody else is behind different areas of the car. But they all come together and put the puzzle together. So in Jamaica, that is where I would love for us to get to, where someone can say, hey, it's like when I go to Orlando or Maryland. If you break a transmission, everybody take their transmission to one guy at Maryland, BTE. Build me back my transmission. And BTE have all their engineers and everything just building back transmission on the spot.
Specializing at that.
Because that is what they do. I can call BTE, they do my transmission, and that's what they do. They go different racetrack, and that's what you're doing. You're dedicated to sell transmission products.
Same like how we have dedicated welders, we need dedicated chassis engineers.
Chassis engineers, that is correct.
That's what them do for every platform.
You can link. We have excellent welders out here. Very good welders. Alright? And we have good fabricators.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
But as I said, when it comes to chassis engineering,
we need that.
we need someone who can sit you down at the track and be like, you know what? I see your car leave. If I make some adjustment to your car, and you will pay that person for their knowledge. You understand where I'm coming from? You will pay that person for their knowledge. And that's the thing, you know. And you can never price knowledge.
True.
You can never put price on knowledge.
True.
You can put prices on products. But someone knowledge is very important. You know, it just reminds me of, what's his name from Dover. He did so much suspension.
May I try remember his name, you know?
He died.
Him died, man. May I try remember his name from Dover? Moody. Right, Peter Moody.
Was the
Yes, man. May I try remember his name too, you know? Yes.
Development for cars.
Right.
At Dover.
Right.
So bless his soul.
Yeah.
And I mean, PJ, which is his son, he left a legacy with them, which is Next Generation Racing.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Next Generation Racing, in which they're supporting the radicals out there and they're supporting a lot of people out there. And what their primary focus is handling and suspension development.
Right.
But I can't relate to them from a drag perspective.
From a drag racing perspective, yeah.
So if it is that we have persons in Jamaica who can assist drag racers in going further, because we want to go faster. We want to go faster.
Because to be honest, as I say, you know, a lot of racers, enough of them do the corner balance. Enough of them, I mean, them add a roll cage in the car, and them don't make no changes after that to the suspension. Them just bolt a cage in and them just come and race and them just drive. You know, enough of that no go on.
Exactly.
You understand? So you have a valid point.
First to get faster, we need to step away from just engine and gear ratio.
Right.
Step away from that. Step away from this making power.
Yeah.
Engine. The engine is just a pump. No matter what you're showing it's going to make power. No matter if you're on a K, B, SR, 2J, it's going to make power. You understand? But we have to get the car to transition. That is what we're working on. Same thing like Porter. Porter, when you launch, you can see the car is not stable. The car is not stable. When you see Bebo launch, Bebo go bam, bam, and go. Porter car is not stable. Porter needs help. You understand where I'm coming from? And I'm sure that there's resources here in the island that can help Porter.
Here somebody say, under the right guidance, them think Porter car can run a low 8-second pass, but him can't do it on him own.
I think so too. And under the right guidance, any team or any driver can realize their full potential.
Yes.
Anybody.
I will state an important point.
No, Jack.
Nature, from my observation, Jaguars is at a point where the economic output for outpace the average enthusiast. So I'm going to make a point now. The racing, if we are going to be competitive, we have to for teams. Instead of one man putting money, 5 man have to put them money. I know the amateurs still, but the level we require now, the average man can't fund it. So the next level for drag racing is team. Couple man come together and do them best. And nobody now do them best. Even the winners now do them best. Because money turn up in our way. So find someone and say, okay, I'm farm and drag team.
But it comes back down to getting the formula right at the end of the day. I don't think we're lacking in the tuning part in Jamaica.
No, yeah.
We're not lacking. We're not lacking in tuning, we're not lacking in making power, or we're not lacking in the reliability part either. Because the parts are staying together. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
They're staying together.
It's almost like, as I said, I noticed it reached to a point where man I run faster and it's almost like them reach to a ceiling and must say, right, what next? Because the car have enough power. They must try traction control. It's almost like they must say, what next?
What is next? That is
what's next?
And when you look at professional races in the US, you realize that at the track, you can get support from persons who develop suspension. Like I will go there and I'll see AFCO. I have a big tent there. And AFCO is there to give you, if you're running AFCO suspension, you're there to get support from AFCO. If you're running IDS is there to give you support from them. If you're running, let's say you're running, what's the name in Orlando? If you're running their Axle, they're there to give you support. But because we're in a little island, we have to know that we're not going to get support from the big boys like that. But
True.
guess what? Somebody locally can help us.
True. And I think one of the things that I probably can help to for that role is we're so busy being competitive amongst each other that, like what Bebo say, a man can give a helping hand and him choose not to.
It's just like me. I saw a Supra Power Glide. He had a problem launching. Every time he go for launch, the car would either bog or blow up the tire. A grey Supra that was down there. And he running the same exact setup like mine. And one night I was at Burnham Field at 9 o'clock in the night. And I helped him out. And I'm helping him not by the computer, no. I was just helping him based on knowledge that I got. The tire pressure, setting the right tire pressure, setting the right stall, which RPM to launch. And I can tell you that guy is now doing very well.
Right.
Because he can share your knowledge at the end of the day.
Right.
Look at my wife as an example. It's coaching by me. She's on the sideline and I'm able to tell her knowledge from my driving perspective how for her to run a good time with a rear-wheel drive car. And where you feel the comfort zone, where's the braking point, stuff like that. So as drivers, we have to share our knowledge and share. We have to come together as a team. You understand? It's a lot more teamwork. And that's something that I think Kenty and Bebo should look at for next year, not this year, but team points. What NDRC did back 10 years ago was the following, and this was the biggest thing that they ever did, was group into team. So that means, I'll show you how it works. Let's say me, Damaged Puffy, is on a team. Bebo, Wayland, and one more person.
45 then, for example.
Is on a team. So that is a team. So anybody who win brings the team. The team that has the most points at the end of the season gets X amount of money.
Correct.
And an extra trophy.
Right.
What that means is, me, Damaged Puppy, going to be sharing knowledge because we have to pull ourselves together as a team.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? Because if I'm winning and you ain't winning, and that man carrying home two winning, carrying home 2 trophies in his class, he's gonna have more points than me.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's only me from my team shining, then that don't look good.
Right.
You understand? Because I have to be pulling one, no one is an island. So it's all 3 of us have to be running. And what happened, that means that we spread the love. Meaning, yo, you're going for 9s. Yo, you're going for 8s. Yo, you're going for 10s.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm going? So we don't become competitive against each other. But we understand what it takes to win together as a team. In Jamaica, it's always about, yo, I want to be the fastest. I want to be the fastest. I want to be the fastest.
Yeah.
We need to step away from that. I know that not everybody, it will be, yes, we all would love to run 7s, all out. But realistically, it's not going to happen. You understand? If we put together a team point system back, or we can say 4 cars, 4 drivers, and you put the team together, 4 different individuals, and we put it together as a team. Check it out, NDRC did it before. And that was 10, 15 years ago. And that is what we need to bring it back. In order for us to grow the sport, we have to bring back that team building experience. That's the only way we can grow the sport.
Right.
We bring it back.
And
we can't afford drag racing to end up like what Nova is. And I'll tell you what is happening. And as I said, I looked at Uncle Willie, I said the same thing. Don't let this break our morals.
yeah.
Island boys coming to Jamaica and delivering a 7 seconds before any of us. Don't let it break our morals. Because that's what the Radicals did to Nova.
Mm-hmm.
When they came with the Radical and the guys with the Evo realized that they couldn't compete, and the guys with the regular cars couldn't compete. It breaks the moral support for the guys.
Yeah, it's almost like you look and say, yo, them guys are outclassed by far.
Exactly.
It didn't even make no sense.
It breaks the morality. So don't let what Island Boys did turn us away from the fact that there's a bigger picture there.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming?
Yep.
Let it be that we all can be competitive in our own class.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm coming from?
We could push you.
To push each other in our own class, because at the end of the day, it's team building. Bring back team building at the end of the day. You understand? Where if the points is X, each of us have to score to meet this points and meet this threshold. So it's for you, it's for me to be able to say, yo, since I'm here in the race, you don't want to hear say engine down. Because you not showing up for racing means that we have a problem.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
We have to bring back team building in the sport. Right? And that is the way that we're going to push the sport forward.
Right.
Because I can see that people, when Island Boys came here and did them thing, you saw the faces on a lot of races.
Yeah.
It looked, the spectators especially was like feeling like, yo, really make them go and they come do that. But
it's true.
spectators is not that.
I joke. Yo, the man them say, hey, spectator them say, boy, I can't believe say, man, they make you foreign man, they come bust with the blow.
It's not that way.
Man, nobody know they have to defend me. I just saw them see it still enough.
It's not that.
That's just how they see it.
It's not that. It's one where these are professional races.
Mm-hmm.
And it's known for us to understand what happened. You understand where I'm coming from? So, we can put together our team and we can compete. Remember that it's a hobby sport for us.
Yeah.
And that's what the spectators need to understand, that racing for us in Jamaica is hobby.
Yeah.
Racing for these guys is professional.
Right.
These guys, they jockey cars for different people. They race different genres of cars. You understand? So it's what it is. All right? But don't disregard your local races. And keep your local races and push them to know that we can do it just the same. All right?
All right.
With words left on the shelf, full of dust, you'll know it's me and from nobody else.